So welcome to the Rainbow Energy Healing Level 2, Part 1 of our journey. Good morning and welcome. I'm so honored and grateful that you're all here. This is exciting. This is also my first time. It's not my first time working in it, or I've been a part of every single class that Chris Couturian has ever taught for this level. And so I was researching and I was doing all of my review this month, and I have so many notebooks. I took notes after notes after notes, and I just went, wow, I don't need this. So I just went from my heart and I went with the curriculum, and I'm going to share it and I feel excited because I have evolved since those courses, because I've been practicing REH, and a lot of the stuff that's coming through, I have so many personal examples to also lend you. And level 2 has been exciting. It's exciting because now we're getting into being a reader and going into the energy. But before I get into the agenda, welcome, guys. So this is going to be the first thing we're going to talk about, is sharing what our intentions for, because the email that I sent you was, set your intentions. Don't sell yourself short. Like, what is it that you really want to ask to have that support from divine with? And then we're going to lead you into a rainbow energy healing, self-healing meditation for about 15 minutes. And then we're going to begin with our module. So, just a few moments, I'm going to ask you to share what it is that you would love to set your intentions for. I have my intention. My intention is to put my speaker on so you have better sound quality. In just a minute, I forgot. My intention is, I'm going to plug this in real quick because I know it sounds much better. Okay.
Now, Kirsten, can you hear my heater that I have on?
No.
Okay. Let me know if you can.
Okay, so you guys said, do I sound better? Was it worth it? Okay. Yeah, so my intention this weekend, because this is my first time teaching level 2. So I am opening myself, and I've even asked for all of the angels and divine, all the energies in terms of the deep healing of releasement of trauma and all those things we're going to talk about this weekend. I'm asking for us to all be supported, because I know that when I took this course, things come up, and I know that my intention is to be able to have that support from divine to best support you on this journey as a facilitator, so that it is done joyfully, and because we are going to have some conversations where we're really bringing light and love to these conversations. So my intention is to have this experience on this new level, and I'm asking for that support. That's my intention, just so we could lead you through, so it's a blessing for all of us in alignment with God's will. That's my intention. So who would like to go first on what they're embarking on, what their intention is? If you have,
no,
I guess have something that's personal, then I understand you may want to keep that to yourself. But just, maybe there's a general purpose of really coming here this weekend for level 2.
For me, it's my intention is really to get back into it. I've let it slide since REH 1, both of my REH ones. And I feel so, like empowered and so joyful when I'm in it, that I really my intention is to hang on to that feeling and be able to, share that with others. So I know that my intention also is to kind of get that daily practice so that I can stay in the energy and be able to provide that to others. So that's really what I want.
Yeah. And what might be coming up for you this weekend in alignment with your spiritual being of wanting to be of service and really embracing that yearning to have more of it in your state of mind and being. I think that there might be some releasing in terms of what's blocking you from not getting to engage in that practice enough. And so be open to however it comes through. Great intention.
Just to add to that, I have kind of seen some very subtle signs that I've been recognizing over the last while,
Yeah.
few weeks or so. And I'm kind of going, okay, now I see where you're going with that, kind of idea. And it's like, okay, yeah, I need to release that. I need to let go of that. I need to, so it's coming in little bits. Plus, I've also been asking, like, I've been kind of setting the intention for my day as we're coming up to this, saying, may I receive all the blessings of rainbow energy healing. So I've been kind of hopefully, prepping myself for it too. So.
Yeah. I love it.
And my physical health.
And yes, of course, you're on the mends and having that continued support on an energy level for you to manage this weekend so that you are still getting that rest and healing, but also being able to participate with an open mind and heart to take in, because it takes energy to sit and listen to the lectures as well, doesn't it? So we're asking for that support in all of our essence, our being, God and the universe, the divine, to really amplify that grounded state so that we can be in such a nice balance and equilibrium so that we could maintain our energy and take in the concepts and understandings on this journey, but also be of service to one another for healing. May it be so. Amen. In alignment with God's will. Thank you. So I want to make sure I say it in case I forget later. So thanks, guys. So so who would like to share next what their intention is?
So my intention is to, and I've just jotted it down as we were talking, is to strengthen my abilities in rainbow energy healing with stronger communication with the higher realms of Master Jesus, with the full support of them behind me, and living a life in full God power. And since our last session, I have retired from my corporate job, and this is my life every day now. So
Yay.
my
Good for
yes,
you.
So excited.
I aspire to that.
so this is, I receive so many signs on a daily basis, and so powerful. And the moon rituals, I'm just loving my life and looking forward to this stronger communication with the higher realms and the guidance so that I make sure I live out my full life purpose.
Beautifully articulated. Oh, ditto for me too. Like, I love it. Everything you're saying. Thank you. And did you have any experiences leading up to REH as well, Elizabeth? Did you experience anything from divine, more signs in terms of the weekend? Did you feel any energy leading up to today?
Every oracle card that I have pulled has been so strong with the support from the higher realms, from Mother Mary to Master Jesus, to signs of the numbers. Just today, my book's over there, the numbers of 444 came up, the numbers of 888 came up, the number 1010 came up. There, it is amazing when you open up, right? I'm in an opportunity where I can do that, right? And yes, just there's been so much opening, and when I put myself in that quiet, calm state, the answers come.
Perfect. Nice. And the fact that you say that with such reverence and such expectation, it's like your confidence. So that's your beautiful, I could feel the empowerment that you have to plug into your infinite spirit self. It's like, no, it's there. Boom, I'm there. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's awesome. I'm in such a good place and I love it.
I'm so happy for you, and everything's falling into place. Yeah, because you're honoring your soul. I love it. Yeah. So thank you for sharing, Elizabeth. Welcome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
my turn. My intention is to experience the energy and let my divine helpers teach me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you're here to experience the energy. Go on. Yeah. Is there anything more?
That's the main thing. I just want to let myself experience it and not not necessarily control any of it, and just because I can't.
Beautiful.
just
Yeah.
letting myself experience whatever the divine realms want to bring through. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I have to say, I don't know if this is okay, but I just want to share, Gunleen, I had a private message from a woman that you gave. I connected with you to give
Yeah.
an REH session.
I say
Yes.
yes.
She
I
texted
did.
me with a
Yeah.
raving review. I screenshot
Aw,
it and I was going
yeah.
to send it to you. So I just wanted to say all the
Yeah. Send it to
effort
me.
you've,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cause I did a session. I did a practice session with her last night. It was the best practice session ever because of her energy. Like it was just her energy just felt so magical. Like there were so many different divine like
Yeah.
realms that I could pick up on with her.
Yeah.
Like it was like this oceanic realm and just star realm. Like it was just crazy.
Yeah.
Like it felt so good. And it's like we were both like reflections because we were both experiencing the energy like at the same time. And then after the session when we were sharing, like we were both saying the same thing. It felt so good. Like I could have just like sat in it like the entire
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you
but
for sharing, because she's
yeah.
there's a lot of energy. She does a lot of this herself. She's also someone who was a producer for TV, so she's very
Ah,
out there, and she's all about, receiving, because she's got a confident self-love. So she's like, I'm so happy
yeah.
it went well for you. The
Yeah.
return of the rainbow unicorn.
Yeah.
Just caught that.
I like that.
Call me Rainbow today.
Okay, Rainbow. Okay, this is fun. So thank you guys. We've shared our
Yeah.
intention, and now I'm going to just, hello?
Oh, you have a visitor.
It's the famous husband.
Thank you, my love. Oh, it smells amazing.
Oh, see,
I'm
he heard
so
me
sorry.
talking about my husband bringing me tea.
Oh, yeah, so he did. He was jealous. He's like, nobody can up me. I love you. How can I not? You hear about that? He's like, you're not supposed to shop the whole show. I'm like, I can't just ignore you. You're in my camera vision, buddy. Okay. That was so funny. I want to laugh my head off, but I have to ground that in. Yeah, so I'm going to begin now with the slides. And there's something interesting I wanted to tell you, because this in level 2, we were meant in the live teaching classes where we were meant to do the distant healing segment. So we saved ourselves 50 minutes today so we can have more experiences and more chatting, a little bit more, but not to take up our day. We are going to try to do our best just to see with the flow, but I will stay in tune to focus our energy, because if we do finish early, it'll be a benefit, because tomorrow is our biggest day. We have a lot of stuff to go through in terms of vows, agreements, contracts, psychic attacks, how to manage with all of that. So today is all about reading the energy and really being in a flow, exactly what each of you are coming in here for. So I'm going to share our slides to get started, and then we're going to, after I show you the agenda, so you kind of have that concept of how you're going to be spending your time with me, because I like to have that. I always like to know, what are we in for here? Yeah. So if you're anything like me, this will help to satisfy that part. Okay. So let me know if you are seeing my slides and also seeing them moving.
Yeah,
Yes.
Excellent.
Yep.
they're moving.
Glad to hear. Okay, so time schedule and breaks, as usual, we like to take breaks at least 10-15 minutes, because it's for me, I like to go out, get water, pet my dog, go out, breathe some air, take in some sunshine. It's really all about balancing that energy, so we're not just in our mental body, but bringing our mind back into our body, grounding it, and finding that stillness through those breaks. That's really important for us, because then we maintain, and when we're more centered, and we also will become more we're not draining our energy trying to push and struggle through our day. And I'm very flexible with lunch as well. And collectively, we will feel it out. But most often, it's best that we break at least by no later than 1, because I'm sure we'll be starving by then. Okay, so practice exercises. I really want us to do 6 practice exercises this weekend. And we're going to be doing it in a unique way because there is an uneven number. So the partners will be a bit different. And we'll figure this out as we go. I have done this before. It always works out. And full attendance is required, which is if you do need to drop out for a module, I'm not a ball buster. Because what happens if you had to run it, if anything happens, it's a full weekend we're committed to, and we do our best. And often, the universe just supports us. But if ever, I'm always capable of spending an hour to catch you up. But let's just hope that we don't have that issue. Joy wasting a whole day is just too much, right? So she's just going to have the weekend to really focus and take the pressure off herself. Material and recordings, so you don't have to. You can just sit there and open your heart and mind and your ears to listen in, because you're going to have recordings. But if you do want to take notes, because I'm a huge note taker, because I can actually say it in the way I best can relate to it in the moment. So do what feels the best for you, because it's all going to be provided. And I will be sending you also a PDF of my chakra man, because it's going to contain the higher realms. We're going all the way up to 16 tomorrow and beyond on Friday or on Sunday. And Sunday, we're going right into DLOs and Ascended Masters. We're going to be really bridging and bringing in and giving more profound. Remember, this is about reading the energy weekend and about deeper healing. And then the agenda. So I'm going to just go over our agenda for today. It's self-healing. We're going to go into the nature of our REH so that you can have some real seeds of thoughts when you are practicing and being of service. It's a little bit more understanding about the nature of us as humans and why this REH is so profound for us to be a witness and to really understand what is actually occurring. We're also going to talk about how there's another way to experience that oneness of creation through the color. We're going to hopefully have a break, and then energy reading basics. This is going to be review, because all of you are very psychic. You guys are all so tuned into divine, but we are going to talk about it in such a way that's unique. It's going to be in reference to holding that energy and how to manage, because if you're anything like me, my third eye can see often multi dimensions. Like I might feel beings, I might see red, I might feel something in my body, and I'm like, wait a minute, overload. So it's really how to break it down and how to be in the flow. And it's easy peasy, but it's a really valid information in terms of how we are really being that conduit, how we're working with it, and how we are that healing light for our clients, right? We really want to be able to sit in there where we're not disconnecting from spirit and getting into our head. And that's what the biggest block is for most people, that ego block. Then we're going into a chair exercise. And then because we're no longer needing to do, 2 p.m. was supposed to be our distant healing. We're not doing that. So we're going to finish quite early, and we're going to feel it out to see if there's questions and answers and what comes up. Does that sound okay for today? Okay, because we're not doing a distant healing, but we are going to have 2 practice sessions. And we'll worry about our tables in the afternoon, where you will want to, how we're going to pair, I'll explain that in a minute, but it'll be 1 person will be receiving and 2 people will be witnessing. And this is going to be interesting because you're both going to be doing a silent witnessing, and I'll share that in a moment. And then after lunch, witnessing through the clairs, inquiring with on wonder, staying in the flow, and learning value. That's after lunch. That's just taking what we're doing a little bit more of a breakdown, because I couldn't fit it all on 1 page. So now, how does that sound for today? And again, I'll just give you an overview of Saturday. It's all about, we're going to start off our morning. There's going to be a special sacred ceremony at the end of the day, because we're talking about trauma releasements. And we're going to go into our own past life and ancestors journey. And we're going to go in and take a look at where we've held on to, we've bought into any curses, vows, contracts, or agreements, or saying affirmations from our childhood that no longer serve us to be this light. And that's what we're dealing with tomorrow. And then Friday, we're going into the higher, even higher realms, and we're going to be discussing the realms of the DLOs, which is going to be so cool and so fun, as well as all of the other things that possibly, when you hold this space, any healing that is required to come in will be coming in from love. This is remember, this is an innately grounding and protective energy. So that anything that comes in, we know it's in alignment with God's will for each of us. That will be the best source of healing that needs to come through for healing guidance. We're actually looking at it as reading the guidance. So it's going to be fun. There's no pressure. It's just being. That's our job today, is just experiencing with silence. And I'm going to tell you all about that in a few moments. So before we begin our self-healing guided meditation, is there any questions about our time together? Is it clear?
Mhm.
Excellent. I'm so happy. Good. I'm glad. Okay, so let's get ready. I'm going to do my time check. Okay, perfect timing. Wow, we're even 8 minutes early. Okay. So as we bring ourselves into a comfortable seated position, stretch physically, do whatever you feel like to just bring yourself into a place of calm, relaxation. Nice. We open our hearts in prayer together as we ask for all the blessings of rainbow energy healing today. And as we open up to this beautiful realm of divine oneness, this consciousness of creation itself, we invite Archangel Michael, we affirm your presence now. And as we connect with Archangel Michael, just allow yourself to be reminded that we are physically safe, that we are eternal beings that forever abundant. And when we open up that space, we are abundantly safe, and all of our needs are provided for in this moment, in this weekend, and that we could begin to release any physical energies that are not serving us, so that we could be in this place of rest and openness of the heart and mind. And just noticing any red shades of beautiful streams of light, sparkles, colors, like maybe even liquid streams of light, or even this beautiful dense blanket that begins to pour into your awareness, into your being, all the way down into your root chakra, and grounds you into Mother Earth. And as you do, as you breathe in and out, as you begin to connect with this beautiful space, you begin to realize how relaxed and how you could begin to let go of any burdens or worries or concerns about your weekend, or if you don't, that's even more peaceful than you were before. And just like it flows down into Mother Earth, and Mother Earth soaks it up and transmutes it into beautiful love and light. And then as you breathe in, you begin to fill your heart and lungs with this beautiful prana energy, this oneness oxygen. And as you take this in, spirit energy begins to course through every cell of your body, washing and cleansing away. And now you begin to recognize or experience all the shades of the sacral. Perhaps they're beautiful, deep, sunburnt oranges, orangey reds, earthy oranges, all the way across to those pastels and light creamy shades of orange that just seem to wash into your being, cleansing and clearing the left and right side of our masculine and feminine energies. Just noticing where these ribbons and liquid light or sparkles or even beings of beautiful divine essence, such as Archangel Heniel, all those beautiful beings washing into your sacral, that lower part of your being below your belly button, into your reproductive organs, your bladder, your kidneys on the lower back, washing and softening the energies, opening up a beautiful balance between the feminine and masculine in the sacral, cleansing and clearing any emotions that have been not serving us, any sorrow, sad, worry, frustration, just coming into a place of such peace. And we begin to connect with that goddess fire energy, that goddess energy that's within us. That's joy. And it's innocent. And it's that awe and wonder inner child that begins to rise up with joy. Just taking a few breaths in as that energy begins to cleanse and clear any energies that are not serving us in our sacrals or emotional centers. Yes, beautiful. Just allowing all of that energy to be cleansed and cleared. You might even be feeling a beautiful breeze around you and in your body, or experiencing just a knowingness of that beautiful realm of divine that supports you in your pure emotional desired states. Thank you so much. We are now completely cleared and healed in the root and sacral. Begin now to just relax your muscles even more. Drop your belly, let your muscles go. Take in a big, beautiful healing breath and release it. And as you do, you've now just ignited your solar plexus. Allow your mind's eye, but also all of your senses, to become conscious of any color, that of all the yellows, gold, rich sunflowers, and the golden sun itself. You might even be feeling a penetration of warmth and joy and peace that washes away any doubts or anxiety or uncertain about this course or the future. Just allow those thoughts. Why make problems before problems exist? This is a place for peace and oneness with divine. The power is in the present. Allowing your belly to just relax as it fills up with beautiful ribbons of yellows, even banana yellows, and yellow, white, and pastel, and soft, beautiful yellows, as powerful as you want them to be. Allow it to just light up and ignite. And as you do, notice how cleansing your mental body begins to feel. Notice the peace and the calmness that begins to wash over this state. Your consciousness mind has begun to become more up front and center in your state. Notice what you're noticing in this moment. Calm mind is oneness with the infinite mind. Notice this beautiful state and simultaneously become aware of all your senses. Allow your mind and body to be one. As you sense this peace, notice what you feel on your skin. Notice what you feel, temperatures from the environment. Notice the beautiful colors or visions that you begin to notice in this peaceful state as you've become one with your mind and body. Channeling, now we begin to rise up into our heart space, noticing the deep emerald green colors that begin to penetrate down your neck and back into your heart. Noticing all or any archangels that associate with matters of the heart for you uniquely in your life, and who are here for our journey of healing this weekend uniquely for you. Invite them in now with your own words in your mind silently. Beautiful. Be in a receiving posture and allow all those energy vibrations, the rainbow of color of archangels and ascended beings, elementals, all those beautiful archangels and guardian angels that are unique to you on your journey are now flooding in with joy and excitement as you open your heart and we give them permission to support us this weekend. Filling up your whole body with a high vibration of pure love and light. We take that into our heart and we give back, send love and gratitude. I am grateful for this. Thank you. And as you affirm that gratitude, notice how it floods back to you 1,000 times more amplified. That which you give, they give it back. It cleanses. Notice how it's washing away any upper heart or back or throat energy that's not serving you. So you could be that full expression this weekend as it cleanses those chakras in your body. Perhaps it's your throat or the pressure you put on yourself on your shoulders or the fear at the back of your neck that you are one, no fear. This heart begins to fill up your whole field of energy with the vibration of your divine team. The whole aspect of rainbow energy healing is available to you now and forevermore. Allow that to wash through in every field of your being, opening up all of your chakras, aligning, soothing, massaging, and balancing them now for our journey ahead, readying us to become conscious, to remember, and to deeply understand the concepts and the understandings and the teachings and the lessons so much more consciously and deeper than ever before this weekend. We are ready to open up to the mind of God, to take in these lessons, these wisdoms and teachings in a personal and more higher realized capacity than ever before. We are willing to do so with your help, God, and the angels. Thank you. And as we go in, we now go all the way up into our rainbow bridge, that beautiful starburst energy orb center. It's a realm. Just allow yourself to shut up. Maybe you can put your tongue on the roof of your mouth and then look up with your eyes closed. Try and put your eyeballs to the top of your head where you will begin to awaken a higher consciousness mind. As we see golden light showering and penetrating throughout us, we are now one with all creation, and rainbow energy becomes that bridge. Just allow that bridge to flow through you. You might even see the burst of rainbows coming down, or you're just in this pool of vibrancy of color. My third eye is just so awakened right now from it. It's like the sunshine itself is just everywhere, golden, bursting and healing. And as we do so, I want you to now set your intentions as you had stated earlier, or if it's evolved, state it now before we come to a close. Allow the intention to be heard directly. Gratitude and gratitude on our hearts with joy and excitement. We thank you so much for this beautiful opportunity for us to get to know our Creator and to know what we truly are capable of experiencing, allowing these magical moments to be bestowed upon our hearts, our eyes, and all of our senses, to be a part of that with expectation and anticipation, with the reverence that we have in our hearts, and that joy of being able to be of service and to get to know our soul language in alignment with God's will. We are so excited and we are honored. Thank you, God. Thank you, angels. And thank you, all those beings who we unconsciously and consciously are going to be playing with this weekend for teaching. I am grateful. Thank you on behalf of all of us. May we also be protected and surrounded and have a really nice protective sacred container without any hitches technologically, and that all is well, and allow us to just be that pure channel to divine in alignment with your will, God. Thank you. Blessings, blessings. Amen. Peace. Thank you. When you're ready, just have a sip of water before we go into the first lesson. Okay, I'm guessing that Gunleen is there. I'm just assuming that we're good. Okay. I'm just getting the slides up. Did anybody want to share anything if they had any experiences in that meditation today?
I felt like for most of it, I was like this.
I was feeling it when you did that. I began to really feel it because you brought my consciousness to it. Now, did you also experience any of your divine team or any interesting color?
It was, so I see a lot of colors, right?
Yes.
And today there was lots of greens and yellows, very strong, very prominent. And then at one point, it was when we were inviting them all and adding the ones that we would like to see, I went like this and gave myself the biggest hug.
Love it. Yeah, nice. My third eye was being cleansed. That's what I wanted to share. It was very cool. I actually saw a big triangle over my third eye. And then I just did it. I just followed it and traced it, because that's what we do in REH. We just follow it. We're curiosity. When we connect, we get more info. It's very cool. You guys, you want to share?
I just allowed it to basically kind of wash over me and do kind of, I felt like I was doing like an energetic car wash kind of thing. So I was just, and I saw a lot of yellow too. And I also had this very interesting thought when we were kind of going, especially through the yellow, the orange into the yellow. I was thinking I thought to myself, my favorite colors are like bold colors, like red and purple. And so then I was associating them with the chakras. And I thought, what were always my least favorite colors were yellow, green. And I'm thinking, I wonder if I should explore that more as to the color that's related to the chakra, as to why those were possibly my least favorite colors. So that's something I'm going to explore. But it was kind of a very interesting revelation, because I was thinking when we were in the solar plexus and heart, like when I see my heart open, I sometimes see green, but I often see more of like a white. It's hard to describe the color, but it's more of a pure color. And when I was opening my heart or concentrating on opening my heart, Jesus came. And he's standing right in front of me. And I know that he and I have this connection. And I know that what I've wanted to be lately is just pure love. I want to exude love. And, so I know that's why he came at that point, because it's to be like him kind of idea. Anyway, sorry.
No, I love it. It
I was
sounds like
going into a lot of detail there.
very connected. I love your third eye. It's like incredible. And the witnessing that you're able to do. It's beautiful, both of you. And also Gunleen, you're very exceptional. Did you want to share anything as well, Gunleen? Or sorry,
Overall,
Rainbow?
yeah. Overall, it felt very centering and peaceful. Like it centered my mind into the present moment.
Beautiful. Excellent. Nice. Okay, good. So thanks for sharing. I love hearing the experiences that you have, which is why I want to offer you guys a chance every time we do something, like, to always feel free to share your experiences. Even if I forget, just share it, because I don't often remember to ask. So today is our nature. So how level 2 evolved my ability. So what this course, what I remember when I came out of it, just our natures as humans, as soul alignment, like I recognized how much our mind, our ego, our past dictates who we think we are. And after this day, I remember, like, every fear thought or every doubt or every self-sabotage, I remember there's always a wholeness and innocence and a perfect essence within me, and that we are powerful co-creators. And so that nature as a human and who we could potentially become, REH is all about this. Remember the mission? It's about us being that fully realized self so that we could have peace on earth. And this really brought it home for me, because you're going to know all the things in the lower chakras. We're also going to be taking a look at those higher realms, and you're going to be made more conscious during your sessions, because we're talking about a lot what Gunleen also already tapped into, which is why I began to get so excited. She was already tapping into chakras 13 to 16 and 17, and she may not even have noticed, because she even used the words Oceania before she's ever even taken level 2. So you guys are already, I'm sure all of you are already doing this. So Gunleen, I wanted to just, I don't want to spoil alert, but you're already working in that realm. And now that you're becoming conscious of it, we can begin, if we're working on the heart, we can begin to, like, we don't have to walk up 10 feet above the table. We just become conscious of those realms, because we know it's a beautiful way in which it's mapped out. And it's a consciousness, just like we like to have a roadmap or a graph or like tell me the directions, but we can also collapse them and become conscious of them, which we're going to learn in this today, where we can actually stay on the table, but still bring them through consciously putting our hands in our mind and our intention. We're going to know where they're coming from. Not to jump ahead, but this is beautiful. You're already in that, you're already evolving without knowing what's happening. And that's what's so exciting about these levels. You're already there before you even get to them. Yeah.
Could I share something else?
Sure. Absolutely.
This was interesting last night with the practice session. It was virtual, and the first few minutes of the session, I was reaching my hands, like, she was sitting, not lying down. So the first few minutes, I was reaching my hands, like, to the far, like the cushion of the couch, and I was trying to, like, feel her there, but I wasn't. I was like, I'm not connecting with her. And then after, like, 3-5 minutes, I just, like, stood up because I was bending earlier. And then all of a sudden, I started feeling her, like, right in front of me. And I was like, oh, she's sitting over here. And I was, like, reaching really far back to feel her. So I thought that was interesting how that works. So I was like, is it like in a virtual session, is it like me imagining where the person is sitting that I feel them there? But it felt like with that session, I was like, she was sitting in a particular spot. And if I went further back, I couldn't feel her anymore. It was like,
So there's a divine aspect that's also, it's the way in which we are perceiving that energy to be. And I also believe divine will show up and pull energy to support us. So
mhm,
that's how come it's so beautiful
yeah.
for me to, even though I don't have a physical body on my healing table or in the chair, I can actually energy transfer, like I can actually begin to become conscious through my ability to be one and have that perception. And I can actually feel it as if the physical body was there. And you will just have
Mhm,
this consciousness of knowing as well. We're going to talk a bit about this afternoon. So I'm going to ask you to hold off on all of that because we're going to go into more deeper conversation in terms of the methods. I've got a few different ways to think about giving remote healing. We're going to take a look at that before our table exercise this afternoon. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Does that
yeah,
make sense?
I just
Yeah.
wanted to share that because that was
Yeah.
like the spatial positioning thing I hadn't experienced before that I
Yeah.
thought was interesting.
Yeah. That's absolutely amazing. I love it. Yeah. And you can actually do that for height. As a psychic
Mhm,
medium, I actually do that when it comes to trying to figure out how high somebody
yeah.
is. Like, or yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and she felt taller than other clients.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can even do that for it's called, I call it the sliding scale. You can even do it for, you can even just imagine that there's a timeline here, which we're going to talk about tomorrow. Way too much information right now, Kirsten. I got a hand on my head. Okay. All right, guys. Okay, we're going to keep moving, but see how fun this is. I just am so excited. Okay. So opening heart is living from your soul. So I went from trying to stay protected, afraid to be rejected. I don't want to be too nice in case they're mean. I don't want to be hurt my feelings. So I walk around closing my heart to life. But rainbow energy healing and practicing this taught me, oh my gosh, I am safe to be me. I am safe to say good morning. Even if they don't say good morning back, I am safe to give love because I unconditionally give love. But I'm also human and that doesn't always happen, but but I'm most often more open-hearted than I've ever been. Still working on it. Sensing, intelligence, heaving, loving presence. I don't know why I'm saying heaving. I'm pretty sure it's having loving presence, right? So I'm sensing the intelligence more because you're opening your heart. That's why we're going to go in and talk about those states. The states we hold is how we become more palpable. We become more one with the energy. And it's all about opening your heart. We don't have to, there's a lot of people that say, I can't open my heart. I have things on my mind. I can't be in the moment. That's our biggest lesson in life, to be able to still choose to be happy and peaceful, even when, the human conditioned mind says, I withhold peace and love until I see evidence that it's safe for me to do so. But this has taught me to be the opposite, that it's okay because it's just everything. We understand those cliches out there. Love is everything. But now this really explains it. Oh, now I get why those cliches mean a lot. So just letting you open your heart and mind this weekend to experience that and how it impacts you in your life, how it impacts you in your everyday life more, deepening you to be that presence in your own families and the way you do your dancing relationships, how it opens you up with your clients more. And that every soul deserves love, because every single person who comes to have a REH session, I end up seeing them with love. I see into their soul's pureness, but I also am being shown where their ego is tripping them up in life and how they hold themselves blame, or they've got anger, right? But I still get to see through the eyes of God, through the angels, through rainbow energy healing, how this soul is just a blessed soul. And this is what rainbow, yeah, go ahead.
That's one of the things that has been happening over the last couple of weeks. Like I'll be well, 1 week I lost because I had COVID, but if I'm out somewhere and I see someone and that kind of conditioned mind starts judging them, even though I don't know them, I just see them and I'll go, oh, they got funny pants, whatever it is. And then I go, but what I've started to do is I've been going, wait a minute, hold off. No judgment. They're a child of God. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps
You're
or
being
angel bumps,
channeled.
by the way.
Oh, I love it.
And it's like, you know, they are a person just like you. They're a soul just like you, and they're connected just like you. You need, and so then I send love, and this is what this talking about sending the love. So I send them love because I'm realizing that I'm doing an ego judgment on them, which I shouldn't be doing, because I don't, you know, I should be loving them because they're a child of God.
Yeah.
So it's that recognizing it, you know, which I hate to say kind of out loud because I don't like how it makes me sound, but at least because I'm not a judgmental person, but you know how you do that? You just go, oh, they have funny hair, whatever, you know, whatever it is.
Yeah. So you're becoming conscious of the, you know, that essence, that noticing who's the observer behind the observer. It's your soul in alignment with God, the infinite.
Mhm.
So you're actually connecting from a place from your soul, and it's helping you to pull back. It's aligning you with truth.
Yeah.
So you hear yourself correcting, course correcting. It's because you're being pulled to lean into your soul more, and you're shedding the ego. That's why a lot of people feel like they're having schizophrenia, because they have two voices going on. They feel like this is what happens.
Yeah.
And
And then
it's
trying not to shame myself for it,
wonderful.
you know, because I know that I shouldn't be thinking that, because then I flip it around. Do I want people to think of me that way? Do I want, you know, that kind of thing? But then I don't want to shame myself, because everyone deserves love, you know, and everyone is love. So that's, anyway, enough about me, but that's one of the things that had been kind of coming up for me lately too.
I love this because now you've just acknowledged it. And what happens when we acknowledge the way we've evolved, we begin to settle into a new normalcy. So now you're going to be conscious of you're allowing that part of you to rise up. And I think it's beautiful. So thanks for sharing. And it also gives us an opportunity to think into it. Elizabeth?
Well, I was just going to add to that, because I've been doing that 24/7 now. And it's not that you're still coming from a good place, but you're catching yourself going, you know, just pray for them. God, please see them through their day.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And to go further than that, just yesterday, I had an interaction with my adult daughter, and I'm trying to recall exactly how it came about, but she said, oh, Mom, she went to a negative spot, right? And she thought I was going to come back that way. And I said, honey, in your whole life, was there any time that I came back opposite to a good response? She goes, yeah, you're right, Mom. You always come back with good, right? And I said, thank you. And I said, to speak from a place of love, if you know now I'm going on to another thing with other people, right? To come from a place of love. If it feels good and it's from a place of love, enjoy. And that's what I seem to, I'm more outspoken that way now.
Beautiful.
And it's quite comical for me in one aspect, because people look at you and they think like, are you okay? Well, I'm sending you love.
Yeah.
You know, have an amazing day.
Yeah. It's not
like, see the beauty of the sun. So yes, I totally understand.
I love it, because when the more you give yourself permission to show up and be a heart-centered being, you're going to have deeper relationships for those who are seeking that connection too. Other people might actually get uncomfortable because it's like, that's a little too deep. Yeah. Like, you know, ever see Tai Chi people in the park with their bare foot? I so just admire them, but some people will like, right? They feel uncomfortable. I would just, if we could all just connect with nature and be ourselves and know that there is so much more to the ego, and that's what we're shedding that, and we're giving those who are open to joining those, it's like a permission. It's like, you have permission, like, right? And it's influencing, not that we're trying to be a messiah and say, Jesus loves you. No, no, no. But we're really showing up in a new way that feels authentic and more natural. And then that begins to take effect in people's lives. Bet you any money your daughter is evolving because mom's increased her vibration and her beliefs and open and let go. And I bet you any money she's been influenced, even unconsciously without knowing.
I see it. And one other thing I've noticed recently, and I just had this happen the other day, is people are sensing something different in my eyes. And so just yesterday, I had a friend said to me, like, stop looking at me. And I was just, we were having a conversation and I was looking at her. And once she said that, she kept talking to me, but had her head here, and it was like, okay, what is coming from my eyes that is so strong that I'm almost looking within their soul?
Yeah.
Okay, can I just add that as
Yeah.
soon as you said that, what popped into my head is her soul is shining.
Yeah.
That's exactly what came into my head. So to me, it's like your soul is shining
Exactly.
through your eyes.
Yes,
And
because yes, I love it. Exactly. Can I share too? My goodness. So when I am in a state of presence and I am not in a fear place, I'm more peaceful and I'm more open. And I do know energetically it's healthy for our skin, because if you talk to any Reiki or energy healer, they gain like 10 years of youth, like when they're in that energy. And it does create light. And also the fact that you're in a place, a mind and heart space, you're more and it's a lot more of a presence, and it could be very uncomfortable. So people who hide or don't, the soul, the eyes are like a doorway into the soul, they say, right? So if you're in that space, even unconsciously, she's sensing there's this different presence and she's not comfortable, she's vulnerable. So you're giving somebody, you're actually triggering them, because that's what's within them in order to heal. And that's what the light does. If you were to go in, there's an analogy about this as well. The analogy is, if you are that light, not everybody is going to want to open up and heal, because it's going to trigger them. Imagine going into a room like a bunch of teens who stayed up all night, and they're like 2 p.m. and they got the blankets over their head. Can you imagine in life those people where you open the door and you flick the light on? They're like, get out of here. They don't want that. And that's what a lot of people are in resistance to, because they're fear, it's vulnerable, it doesn't feel safe, because they're used to, and we're going to talk about this tomorrow, about why it serves them to stay safe and hidden.
Yep.
Love it. You guys are so awesome. Okay, this is good. All right. Oh, this is so cool, guys. All right.
I think we've pretty much gone through all of those points just in that conversation.
Yeah, we're done. Yeah. Yeah. It's loving abundance, and it's magical. I just want to state how magical it is. Like, isn't it magical? We get taught and seen so many cool things. So we're going to learn nature of REH in more depth. We're going to talk about distance healing this afternoon. We're going to increase our experience in it through exactly what Gunleen brought up, exploring soul chakra more. We're going to really go into chakra 10 this weekend. It's all about the life purpose, past lives, and healing from all of those. And we're going to explore above the system to 13 to 18 realms. We talk about that, understanding, and the purpose of delivering healing guidance. That's what we're doing this afternoon. We're literally going to be able to, we're going to be silently witnessing this morning. And then this afternoon, we're going to have a full session where we're going to be actually having that teaching and practice segment on delivering the healing guidance, and then learning more about REH, and then hands-on experience. So we're ready. So we already set our intentions. The key learning, we already have talked about all of the learning that we're going to do. Please ignore my my spelling, because my nails, I've never had them so long. And I thought I reviewed all my my slides, but I will correct them before I send you the version, okay?
Oh, Kirsten, in number 7 there, we have to figure out why you've put 6 in that.
Ah, interesting.
What is the significance of 6?
It's physical, material balancing, like to know we are abundant and to not get into fear and believe that things have power over us.
There you go.
Interesting. Very smart.
Okay, may I just add,
Yeah.
I ironically brought in my angel numbers book.
Yeah.
And number 6, take time to eliminate all that's blocking your joy. Follow what makes your heart dance.
Mm,
I like
love
that.
it.
Just
Love
right
it.
in there with releasement
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
number
Love
7.
it. Okay. All right. Self-healing, nature of business. Would you like to share some of your ideas of what the natures are? Just a couple, just maybe 1 or 2 words, just to kind of get us open in terms of the natures. It's ever present, it's naturally grounding, and helps us intuitive. Like, what do you guys think about REH, the natures of it?
Magical.
Yeah.
Elevating.
Mhm.
Nice.
Healing
Absolutely. Healing,
and soothing.
wholeness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loving.
Love. Absolutely.
Freeing.
What did you?
Yes.
Yes, liberation. Love it. I don't even have
Right?
that one on my list. Okay, I'm gonna write that one down.
And
I don't think I
find it
did.
uplifting too, because I really feel a lot of joy when I'm there.
Excellent. Okay.
I've also realized is so in amongst my other meditations and what I do in the morning, I've been doing one of the rainbow energy healings in the morning, right? And throughout the day, I realize the connectedness. So say 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm driving in the vehicle, I'm at a stoplight and it's red. And I know that stoplight's going to be longer than the normal. I will call in for, the rainbow energy healing to be with me, right? To continue with me throughout the day.
Beautiful.
So being able to pull to it throughout the day.
Yeah, I love it. I love how inviting and asking and being one with it is literally what we have to be reminded of when we shift gear and we're no longer in that session, we're going about our day. It's no longer relevant. Like, it's no longer, we need to be able to stop compartmentalizing our spirituality. And that is a great example of how you can do that. It's like when you're at the stoplight or when you're in line, or love it. So thanks, guys. These are all very empowering. So it increases your oneness and consciousness. So you begin to live from that oneness instead of separating. So it's another nature. It connects you deeper and more profoundly in your life. That's what I think I heard you say. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to ask you guys to imagine usually if I'm in person, I would have an easel with paper and marker, and I would draw a line down the page, and on the left-hand column, I would put all of the things in life that are truth, like it just is, like you can't argue with it. They're natural, they're accessible to all of us on a soul level. Okay. And then on the opposite side, on the right-hand side, if you can imagine, I would put its verses. What is an opposite? What does a human conditioned mind believe? What do we have? This polarities here on earth, this black and white, yes and no, right or wrong, judgments, imprisonment in our own belief systems to liberation, right? That's what Elizabeth was sharing. So let's now take a moment. If I were to say that the nature of REH is its life, it's eternal life, it's forever life giving. It's, when we put that energy of love into water, it becomes a beautiful molecule of harmony, and it's so healthy. But when we do the opposite experiment, and we shout with anger and hate, that molecules of life begin to become irregular and unhealthy. Have you heard of that test before? How we are in fear and how it affects the physical when we're in fear, and how that creates the life that we live in. And that's the analogy of water. And then there's the truth. If we can embody that, and that's what we're doing every time we hold that space and call upon our archangels and show up for a session. These are all the natures that could come through for ourselves, and because it's mutually beneficial, and for the client as we hold out light for them. So what would be the opposite of unconditional love? What would be the belief systems or the experience that somebody might be coming into the treatment for? It's, if God is all about pure love and no judgment and forgiveness and compassion, if somebody's coming in, they're going to feel blame and shame and guilt and unworthiness. Is that correct? So those are all of the falseness that we hold, which is just not the truth. These are all states we could all become conscious of when we are in this energy. It just has a way of bringing. I had a treatment where Chris Couturian I had a lot of like burden with guilt, and he saw, which we're going to talk about tomorrow, he saw a lot of energy that says, wow, you're innocent. In fact, there was a lot of innocence. So I didn't even know what the story was. But then when I showed up with my husband, I realized I had felt guilty all the time, and I wasn't feeling guilty anymore. You don't even have to know the story, just the energy itself is playing out. Does that make sense? And we're becoming conscious of all this love pouring into our heart. Wow, there's a lot of truth and expression coming in. We might just feel joy. We might just feel liberation happening because we're here to witness the beautiful oneness. We're not chasing the fear-based beliefs. But if we do know, if we are conscious, many of us, we just innately know what the opposite of light feels like. Light is dark and fearful, right? So this is why the natures, if we have faith, somebody has the faith and they trust life, and they just have this confidence that they are a co-creator, that God has their back. That's a state that not too many of us embrace and embody. So when we are feeling that in the lower chakras, we might actually experience lack of faith. Our root chakra might feel like we're holding on. I've seen in rainbow energy healing before, a person, can I share this with you? I don't know if you can see this, but their feet were wide apart, and their body was crouching down, like that wasn't safe financially. They didn't have faith in that they were going to make it to month in their future of uncertainty, financial abundance. So faith, so you could experience lots of stuff, faith going into the root chakra. So this is another beautiful way that these natures of REH, it's a great way to explain our wholeness and our pure truth of who we are as souls, and how every single spark of light, color, or archangel, anything that you experience is bringing us back to these natures. Okay, so creation, there's no destruction. I'm going to actually show you the next page now, but can you guys share any that sticks out for the most for you before I show you the falseness of these?
Myself, I notice more the wounded child in people with their actions, right? Along with their words, right? And I can pick that out of them more. And as soon as I notice that, I instantly pray for them, and I send healing and love for them. And it's ironic because I'm doing it more and more, like from the grocery teller to the gas station attendant to somebody behind me in a line. I'm picking it out more in them. I'm noticing it more.
Yes. I think that's amazing, Elizabeth, because that's what I did when I was working in the corporate environment. I began to become so transparent to where the function of the ego was playing out, that I was observing and learning. And I think that is an incredible, and it's not that we're doing anything, just become an observer. Allow yourself to see the divine in others. You have permission from divine. We don't do that enough, to have that compassion and forgiveness in the moment. And I think being able to do what you're doing is part of evolved soul, like a higher consciousness person. I think that's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
I know all of you
on
do this.
on top of that, I've actually been healing my inner child.
Yes.
And in one, there was something that happened with me last week where I was watching a television movie, and it just, something reared up and I just started to bawl. And then that evolved into a memory of my mom when my mom was crying and apologizing to me. And it took me back, and it healed that back when my mom was alive. So there's been from the moment you open your eyes to the moment you close your eyes, and even while you're in your dreams, you can still do healing.
Yeah, beautiful. There's always an opportunity when you're made conscious. I think consciousness is the very first opportunity for healing, because when you're being made aware, it's not
Yes.
hidden. And I think that's beautiful. Well said. So do you mind if we just take a bio break? Because I really could use the ladies' room right now, and just real quick. But how do you guys feel? And then we'll reconvene and share a lot of the polarities and the way in which your clients, or even we, show up, and how this nature of REH brings wholeness and restores those energies, helps bring those truths to us consciously. So we'll be right back. Do you guys need more than, we won't, do you want to take our official break right now for 15? And then we could, or do you guys just want a quick 5 minutes just to go to the washroom?
I'm okay either way.
5
Yeah,
minutes.
same here.
Perfect. I'll just pause the recording. So can I leave Martha with reminder to continue the recording? And we'll be
Okay,
back
yep.
in 5 minutes. That means
I'll write myself a note.
at 11:49, we'll be right back. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so welcome back. Thank you. I love the sharing that was going on. I also was just replying to people who are seeking REH sessions from each of you when you're ready. They were, so if you, it's self-efficient. So Gunleen and I came up with the idea to just post on on Facebook, the Intuitive Discernment Spiritual Awakening Facebook group. So I know, Martha, you're also, are you, Elizabeth, on Facebook? Okay. Because that's going to pose a problem, because are you able to maybe, because I would have to connect with them, get their email, but I don't know who you're interested in giving a reading. So have you ever considered opening up a private Facebook?
I'm in the process of looking to see what I want to do with technology.
Okay.
Right. So it's, I'm on the fence post with Facebook still.
Okay, thank you. So, all right. So if you were a part of Facebook, then you would have the opportunity to check to see what person who's said yes resonates with you, and then you could energetically feel them out, and then you could reach out, because that's the process that works best. I don't have to be coordinating and sending it. It's easy peasy. I just post it. And then I've also said students will be in touch soon. And so we have a list of people that are so excited to, you guys will have that opportunity. So Elizabeth, if that's not something you're ready for, don't worry. The universe will bring you other ways for you to have these practice students. And even people that I know that I have in my programs, intuitive discernment, they might actually be perfect, because I know their emails, and I know they come from a good place. I know they would be a good fit.
Well, last time you sent us an email with it, you sent us the list in an email.
Yeah, that was a lot of work, because I had to go in and out of Facebook
Oh,
and ask
okay.
them. It's
Okay.
not that I don't want to. I just felt like if you have Facebook, it's even better, because then you
Right.
can feel them out energetically.
Right.
And those were
Okay.
people a part of my course too.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, guys, so let's move on. If there's any other questions, I would love to support you on that. So after today, tomorrow, or I should say Sunday, we're going to talk about next steps and how to really find, open up to have more practice. But that's one of the ways that I really do support you on is on that Facebook group, and there could be other ways that I would love to support you. Okay. So the module that we were just sharing, it's literally what the whole purpose is to convey, just getting us back into that energy is, you know, our REH is innately grounding and healing and whole. It brings us to our wholeness and truth. And so what we're experiencing, the reason why we haven't all lived our life liberated and with this open heart and the way we're experiencing it here more and more is because they hold on to, and this is the whole week is about this, they're holding on to these falseness beliefs. And REH, it's like it's one, it's like you can't breathe the air, every molecule in space around us is life itself. It's all that beautiful realm of co-creation and beings, and how we discern it with our intelligence through our souls, higher consciousness, we begin to actually communicate with it and become one with it. And as that person is on the healing table, we are capable of witnessing and understanding where that truth is coming in to really bring wholeness. That's what our job is. And we hold the light, we witness the way the beautiful wholeness is coming in and to restore them. We're not seeking the opposites. And the opposites, I'm going to go to the next slide, is see how I put verses where they believe in, so it's all about this lack and scarcity, where they're, oh, I feel sick, I feel your sickness, I feel your pains. That's not what we're doing. We're really just recognizing, and we're being shown. And I do get shown, oh, do you have, I feel like in my own body, I mirror them a lot. So you might actually experience bloating, or you might even see there's a burger on the plate, or I saw pizza one day. I was doing a rainbow energy healing session and I felt bloated and I saw pizza and I mentioned it to her, oh, just angels are showing me pizza. And she laughed. She goes, oh my goodness, that's my thing. She goes, I just ordered pizza last night, pizza and wine. So it's so amazing how you're shown physical ailments or even diet, like the angels are always going to show you. So it could be that I felt a lot of releasing was happening to calm that, all the energy that was going through. So it was bringing her wholeness in her body, helping her to digest, helping her to bring her into wholeness. And you might be a witness of that in whatever way in which your strongest clair, the way the divine is working through, how you best receive. And we're going to talk about all of those different ways soon. You guys are already doing it. But it really is about becoming conscious of, now there might be more on this list. People believe in fear. They believe there's a hell. They don't believe that there is that heaven. Many people that I've seen are just waiting to go to heaven for peace on earth. There's no peace on earth. They believe that heaven is their savior, that when they die, that's when they can have peace. And unfortunately, I see that even within my own father, especially before, where he was just waiting to die, and now he's got hobbies and he's living and he's never been better. So people often go into that, they don't believe that there is a heaven, they don't believe that heaven can even be on earth, but we know that it's eternal, and that how we make heaven can be on earth. And that's what we're going into tomorrow. We're going to be talking about our souls yearning to create that, and why we may be experiencing dreams, right? But there's so many opposites that could come up, but it's the nature of REH. It just is. It's wholeness. When I see somebody stressed out and they're struggling to feel peace and to feel that life is got their back, what they're doing is they're holding themselves in all of those false illusions that they can't have peace in their life, and they're operating. So if they were to come in for a session, I may be experiencing, when I'm working over their heart, that it's a density, or I might even experiencing my own body, a lot of like pink energy bringing calm, or I even might see green, or I might see an archangel, whoever that is. They'll show me that stuff is going on in their anxiety or in their solar plexus, and they're bringing that oh, I don't feel like you're peaceful. Sometimes I even feel ailments in my back that say that like I'll feel their back is they're putting a lot of red in there to heal the physical back. And I might be reminded of my own lumbar issue from the past when I was in a toxic corporate environment. That's how spirit works. And I'm like, are you having some stress in your life? Because I feel a lot of pieces coming in, restoring the physical, but also calming your heart. Wow, I'm witnessing what they're bringing you. And they're in that table surrendered. They're finally allowing these beautiful truths and wholenesses to be restored in that moment. That's why we are witnessing it, and we're amplifying it into their conscious, their awareness. We're bringing that, and they don't maybe even know half of what's going on. We don't have to know everything that's going on, but we're being made aware because there may be a validation. You know how good it feels that we're validated? Spirit may have that consciousness, that higher wisdom for us to share it. We're going to talk about how to give guidance later, but we're talking about noticing what you just silently witnessing these things. So always think into what is happening, the colors, the vibration, the energy, the vibration, the memories you're having, because it's all tied into their falseness of where we're pulling them out, weeding them out, or bringing love and light to it, cleansing and clearing, whatever that words or whatever that experience is in the moment as you become a witness. That is what it's being restored. We do nothing, but it's between them and God. It's between their higher conscious, their divinity, what their willpower is in alignment with God's will. We're just there to hold that space, and whatever can be impacted is what we just trust. It's a blessing. That's what being that light is. We are there to hold that space. Are there any questions about any of these ideas? Often I could speak to many of these experiences here, and how you might feel them in the body. But you guys, I want you to have them for yourself. Become conscious of all of the natures of wholeness and truths, and notice where the falseness and illusions come from, and how we are not there to go looking for all of the junk and garbage and the false ego. That's a very draining way to get out of the angel realm and into their ego realm. We're playing in that falseness, where falseness is an illusion that's created from our polarities of, it's a part of our nature here as earth. And that is not where the healing, we have to become, as a light, our job is to rise to the light and to hold that light so that those are transmuted. The next thing is, where does REH fit into on the list? Where do you believe that it's left or right column? Is it on the truth? It just is? Or is it
Yeah,
so
truth.
Yes, correct
Yeah.
answer. REH, rainbow energy healing, is its creation itself. It's all aspects of God's will.
Yeah.
And it's that embodies, REH embodies every function in higher conscious intelligence, all of the, in all of our field of energy. It holds the contract, it holds the desired self, the yearnings before a soul was born, and has all these reincarnation. It's in connection with God's, it's all those aspects into one. REH fits in on that list of it just is. It's
So-
all aspects of that.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Martha.
Oh, no, I wasn't saying anything. Sorry.
Okay, I was just gonna say, yes, it's on the truth side, right?
Yes.
It also falls into the other side because we're bringing the healing into the other side so that we can all be on the side of
Oh, I get what your
in-
intellect is saying, but
okay,
just like we are innocent and then we have blame, REH
Okay.
does not hang out in the falseness side.
okay,
That's where we judge ourselves. That's where we feel like we're bad
Okay.
people, right? REH just is. It's with that aspect. If we just call upon it, may I be blessed by all the REH, boom, we could shift, we could become conscious, just asking for those blessings to be made available, whether we consciously are aware or not. we give permission to be restored into our wholeness. And then we might have new ways in which we think into or react. We might be
Okay.
willing more room in our beingness to actually open our hearts or to let go or forgive or liberate. So that's just opening ourselves up and really asking to have that blessing in our life. It's like it's not that we aren't already having it available. Every single moment we have the conscious awareness of our free will to open up, just like you guys are all having those dual conversations. It's because you guys are willing, you guys know that you've given it permission and you know the value, and you're immersing into that truth. You're becoming more whole and more conscious and expanding. You're letting go and liberating those old falsenesses. They're no longer operating and having a power over you. That is how REH fits in. It just is. Truth just is. False truths, its destructive nature of ego belief system. REH does not have any, it doesn't even exist over there, because it's just, it's life itself. And it comes in however it needs to be perceived in our soul so that we can connect with those higher truths, which is all those beautiful aspects of this creation, of our realms of truth. And how better else is to explain it like the color wheel. You know, when we take a look at the rainbow, it's got the basic colors. To the naked eye, we can only see so many different fragment variations of color, but to our soul, it is beyond what we could ever imagine. Color, if you haven't already experienced those beautiful, rich, you can't even describe them. We haven't even created them in the physical, right? They're just so beautiful. What you take this image that I found and I borrowed off the internet for us. Can you imagine if Archangel Michael showed up to us? Maybe there's that Archangel Michael realm. We know it because we can experience Michael. We just have this knowingness, or we see the symbolic presence. He might be showing up, maybe cocooning our client with this gold protective light. I often see after we've grounded by the midway through my sessions, I often see this cocoon. It's almost like this beautiful weaving, comfortable blanket that gives comfort and safety. Archangel Michael often restores that to our nature, brings us that peace that we could rest and surrender and be abundant in our nature and in our power, so that we could step up. Now, if you take a look, he also might show up to me as purple light, which is upholding the this inherent divine power that we have. So you could see how I went and I got the closest color to that, the purple that he might show up in. I think he's more of a deeper royal purple sometimes, because it's the truth of our divinity, of who we are, reminding us who we are, and to have that faith, have that trust. And I might be experiencing that on a session, coming back into Archangel Michael's pouring all of this beautiful, like divine, abundant into whole being, into your heart, into your root chakra. Like I feel it coming into the crown often to bring us back to our divinity. Or it could be the indigo blue, which is often how Archangel Michael might show up too, supporting me to transcend my fear and see truth. Because I often see this deep blue going into my eye. Archangel Michael, it might be him because he's showing up. And I'm experiencing my ability to see not a fearful potential, but actually opening up and being a co-creator and actually envisioning things like giving permission to see divine. I'm not afraid to see divine anymore. Or even having some insights into my circumstances that I didn't even see prior to the Archangel Michael cleansing, and I'm open. Does that make sense? How the color is another way. And we could talk about many different ways. Ascended masters might show up. I often see the sparkle, or like ascended master, I should say, Master Jesus often shows up with me with white pure light and sparkles of blue. And I often see him right over the shoulder on the which we're going to talk about tomorrow. It comes in from the Divine Father comes down from the Divine Father to remind us. But I also feel like it comes right over to the shoulder and it sparks up full of light, and it shows in that way. When I see Archangel, or I should say Ascended Master Jesus showing up in that way, it's giving us, it's almost like he's at your side. Have faith and compassion. It's almost like a confidence to keep going with and open your heart. And it's such a beautiful light. Like there's so many ascended masters and beings that come in with these colors, and how they are all giving different truths and different healing just is back into our consciousness. So I hope that's another way for you to understand the nature of REH and who needs to show up and how they show up. And we are not here to limit, oh, I only want Archangel Michael. No, we're here to allow Divine's will to show up in what they best. And we are there to just be a witness and be curious to know who they are. So as a review, REH is unaffected by falseness. So if I'm sitting there and I'm allowing myself to just be for a few moments, often I don't even have to force it. The energy will help me to unveil a deeper perspective where I could let go of someone's wrongness and have compassion. So REH is unaffected. Any anger, fear, hate cannot alter it. It's pure, it trumps, it's pure love. It just, with our will and with that, if we're just, oh, I get that, but I still choose to be angry, then that's coming from the unhealed wound, the ego. Does that make sense? It's unaffected. And there will be a lot of opportunities, even in our own life, where we still may hold on to it, but at least less and less layers and power it has over time, where it just dissolves. That's another way we can experience that healing. REH changes our perceptions when we awaken to it, which we're all experiencing. REH contains every color imaginable. REH offers built-in assistance. Like I, take a pen or a journal and I'm like, oh my goodness, don't you ever just pray or meditate? And it's like, almost like I feel more plugged in. I feel more grounded. I feel like I got this. I can actually restore my confidence when I go do a speaking event. I'm like, oh my God, I'm excited. I get to be of service, rather than, oh my goodness, are they going to reject me? Am I going to fail? Right? Those are coming from, no, I can open up and I can feel that beautiful confidence and that speaking tone of service. And then I always have fun when I ask for REH to help me. REH is just, it just is like God, love, truth, and other eternal qualities. REH is inherently grounding, cleansing, and protective. It's life affirming, not destructive. So the reason why it's important for us to really put this lesson in here today is so that we know that we just have to show up, and that just healing is when we become conscious to it and we allow what is with the free will of our clients, our practice clients. We are there to allow it to do what it needs to do, where their level of consciousness is, what they're willing to become available to them. Maybe even at an unconscious level, they begin to shift. Often we don't even know the half of it, right? Because there's so many things to tap into, but this is really important for us. Are there any questions on the nature of REH? Yeah, it's pretty easy. And that's literally our job. Our job is to hold the light, and that's what we're witnessing. Okay, so we already took a break, but are you guys ready to do a bit before we go to lunch? I wanted to do a practice session and going over, if we take a break now, we are breaking at 1 o'clock for lunch at 1 o'clock. And then this will give us enough time to take a look at the energy basics and then to do a bit of a practice session. And then we're going to come back for lunch and we're going to go into part 2 of the energy reading basics. So would you like to take, we could get right into it now. We only have 45 minutes and then break for lunch, or do you need a break? Okay.
Okay to continue.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good to continue.
Excellent. Okay. So the purpose, energy reading in REH sessions purpose. It's learning. There's 2 reasons why we want to become very conscious of in level 2. It's all about learning value and understanding the healing guidance. That is what it's all about. And that's what our focus is on. So how energy reading happens? Well, it happens through our metaphysical senses, as we know. This is so basic. See, hear, feel, know, smell, and taste, of course, but they're not there because I just put the 4 clairs. And it's also really important that we are consciously witnessing, right? And that we are not trying to do something. And even though we have a protocol, the protocol is there, we are absolutely witnessing the energy. And it's also important for us to be so super curious and inquisitive and inquiring. That's another job, how to do this. And the 4th thing is, it's to be in awe. And the definition of to be in awe is to remind yourself. I will continually remind you and repeat these words: to be in awe, to be in reverence, and to be in childlike awe and wonder. Because if we can create that state, that is where we rise up and have that magical realm of it. We join it, right? So awe is to have respect and honor that God, goddess, as the source of healing. We are in awe to what we are being a witness to. Wow, just seeing color or just being guided, Gunleen, just having that miracle of having divine help you in terms of healing. It's a miracle. I have got so much awe and wonder. There's so much we don't know and so much we're learning in every session. Reverence. It's to revere the privileged position of being the witness to this healing. It is such a privilege and honor that I get to lead you here. I am so reverent to whatever needs to come through, whatever you share to collectively come to this knowingness of this isness, right? When a client comes, I am privileged to connect with them on a soul level and to experience also divine in new ways. Like, to really hold that in your heart is such a key way to read energy when you hold those states. So that's why it's important. And this is what's drilled into me as a practitioner, is to be in awe, reverence, and childlike, like be in that state. And wonder. So be in awe, reverence, and wonder, to be as a child with joy. And as you gather information provided to you through your clairs. So this is a very important first step for us to begin. And we're going to do so in a session, experiential. It's a chair exercise. And we're going to take our time I'm going to go ahead because there's something I wanted to share with you in terms of, oh no, not yet. We're going to do so silently. We're going to stay in the flow. And do you remember that it's all about the flow, and it's literally your job is from level 1, which we didn't actually review. I just figured we had already been practicing enough. But you know how it's all about, staying in flow, and it's omnipresent, and then following. It's always starting off with the grounding and then the heart chakra, right? We all know that that's the beginning. We're going to do that. But today we're going to actually start with the heart, because that's one of the ways we're going to start with a prayer. And we're going to go right into the heart, which is our grounding for today's exercise for time. And then we're going to move from the heart as we're doing the chair exercise. Whoever we are choosing to go first, we'll be all experiencing it together, and then we'll have you each have a turn. So there's about a half hour, 10-minute session each where we start the heart. 3 is the solar plexus, right? And then we're going to go all the way up to the throat, down to the sacral, and then all the way up to the soul purpose chakra. So if you could write that down now. So it's heart, solar plexus, throat chakra, sacral, and the soul purpose chakra. And just as a reminder, we're going to talk more about the soul purpose chakra, but it's actually, this is number 9. It's like, so the 8 number crown, and then you've got the life purpose, which is often like right a few inches like off of our head. And then when you put your hands up with a little bend in your elbow, you're going to have this beautiful realm of your soul purpose chakra. That's where we often can become conscious of it, when we can bring ourselves to experience it like a beach ball right above it. Okay. And so that would be the 10, and that's our soul's journey, past, present, future.
Could you repeat them, please?
Yeah. So number 4 is our heart chakra. So heart chakra number 4. Then we move down to 3, which is our solar plexus. 5 is our throat. 2 is our sacral, and 10 is our soul purpose chakra. So the reason we're doing this is because we're actually becoming conscious, we're engaging, and we're silently witnessing. And then after about 10 minutes, we'll share our experiences. Okay. So also, here's another thing. What we're going to do is imagine whoever go first. So just say, for instance, Elizabeth chooses to go first. Then we'll have Elizabeth in her chair, and I will be starting with my prayer and my heart chakra. And we'll use this, we always should be grounding, but for today's segment, we'll use our heart, and we'll invite the grounding process to come through as we open up the prayer through the heart. And then we'll just feel that heart out. We may actually go in and sandwich her. We might feel that. And then we're going to go in and silently witness. Remember, we bridge, so we use the bridging. We still have our hand on the heart, and then we begin to become conscious of her solar plexus. So we have now, and I feel like I'm in your energy because I have to move back.
I'm thinking we should just do me first with the sun just beaming down here.
And then I will guide you through it. I will guide you through it. So that's a great idea. And then we'll switch after 10 minutes. And I just want you all to, thank you. This is so fun because we get to actually witness and experience each other and share. And what we're going to do is do it for 5 to 6 minutes, and then share for a couple minutes. And I want to hear your experiences after. And that's all we're going to do. And then we're going to break for lunch. So we've got 40 minutes. We got more than enough time to have 3 sessions where we can really just allow the energy to teach us and be in the flow and recognize where wholeness, where truth is coming in, and to practice holding that first level of being a divine reading energy reader is to be silent witness in awe, reverence, and wonder. Okay, so that's our first exercise. Are we ready? Do you need to take a water break, anything before we jump in? Are we good? Excellent. I'm going to have some water too.
Do you need to see the whole body, or just what you see here is fine?
Well, if you have the option to move your chair back so we could actually see you, that's one beautiful way of providing. I love your table. It's so pretty. All the singing bowls and healing stones.
Just have to see how I'm plugged in to get a better view.
It would be like this. Could you?
Oh, yeah.
If you have this space and the room. Oh, yeah, that's perfect.
Does that work?
Yes. And if you can come back into the sun if you'd like. We can see you. Yeah, nice. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Because we're all very energy. We can actually feel you even if we can't see you. That's perfect. Well, you're in the dark, but Yes, now we can see.
Okay, there you go.
Okay,
Wait,
guys.
I have a question. So, are each of us going to be like emitting the healing energy, or are we not? Okay, we are. Okay.
I am going to be leading. So, Elizabeth, your role is to just receive and enjoy the healing for now, and just whatever you can experience, just allow. And then
That's fun.
for rain,
Three conduits of healing.
yeah, and I will be guiding you both, Martha and Rainbow. I will be guiding you both to the prayer and the grounding, and I will guide you to moving where you need to go so that you don't worry about a thing. Just experience, be, and I will keep reminding you to, I'll let you hang out in it, and then I will guide you when ready to move into the next bridge and then move in fully. Okay. You look so beautiful in the light, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
I know, I was
She's
about
ready.
to say it looks so cinematic with the dark
Yeah,
background and the
know.
spotlight.
I feel like we're at the
I love my
theater or
skylights.
something. Yeah.
So we open. So if you can get up like this. So and then imagine that you are in, because she's in this side, so I can actually see you now. You're right in front of me, as according to the camera, the way it's set up. So now we open our heart, and standing with your heart, and we open up. We now open our heart in prayer, and we invite all the beautiful blessings and healing, rainbow energy healing has to offer for Elizabeth today. And we are invoking Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, and Archangel Raziel, the founders of this beautiful modality, as well as all of our healers, all of Elizabeth's divine team of helpers and archangels and ascended masters for this healing session today. We ask that it be a healing and a blessing for all involved. And we also ask it for it to be aligned with God's will. And also we are so grateful for this opportunity today. And with thanks in our heart, we are so appreciative as we go through this exercise today with divine help. We are so grateful. And now just hold your hands, begin to become conscious with your whole beingness, all of your senses, this beautiful grounding process by placing your hands in the direction from your heart and to Elizabeth's heart. As that groundedness becomes conscious within you, spend a few moments as you begin to ground yourself into the Mother Earth, and as you connect with Elizabeth's heart. And as this prayer, notice any sensations that you feel with your hands, in your body, any colors, visions, sensations around you or through you or Elizabeth. Maybe opening your eyes and even closing your eyes to see if that experience is different. And just being a silent witness, really holding that childlike awe and wonder. Beautiful. Martha's turning around. She's engaged with the heart chakra. Noticing what you're feeling. Moving with the energy. Noticing any color, any presence of divine. Just being a beautiful silent witness. Beautiful. Noticing any wholeness or truths that are being poured in and available to be made use of for healing for Elizabeth in the heart chakra. And as you hold that heart chakra, this beautiful wholeness and healing that is coming in to be made available at her readiness and her will, knowing where those beautiful truths and ribbons of light seem to penetrate, and now begin to become conscious of the solar plexus. Now take one hand holding on to that heart, holding on to the heart space, and now one moving into her solar plexus below her rib cage, and now just bridging that energy to become conscious. And when you feel that you are completely experiencing her solar plexus, begin to experience the energy vibration, becoming conscious of it, walking around the perimeter, holding the light, following the flow or the sensation or the knowingness, and then fully move into, with both hands now, into her solar plexus. Maybe noticing your hands moving far apart, pulling out this beautiful wave of healing, this wholeness that is becoming conscious to her being, to you as a witness. Take a moment now to spend time being a silent in with that beautiful awe, reverence, and wonder. You are being made conscious now of all of the restoring of wholeness and truths, cleansing and healing energies that's being made consciously available to you, that is supporting Elizabeth now in this moment in her life. Does this energy also connect to any other chakras in her body? Is it pouring through or down from her higher chakras, maybe the back of the neck and throat, down into her heart, into her solar plexus, and you're drawing it through with divine? Or is it coming up from the, like, notice the flow and how it's activating other fields of energies within her. Notice any flow that becomes conscious. And now become conscious of the throat chakra. Putting one hand when you're ready up until the throat chakra, trusting that all the energy is continuing to heal with or without your consciousness. And then when you fully engaged with her beautiful throat chakra, in a gentle, healing, calm, soothing manner, we draw upon her throat chakra and we begin to connect fully with it with both of our hands and all of our beingness made available consciously with beautiful awe, reverence, and wonder. Use all of your senses to silently witness now for a few moments. Be so curious, inquisitive to whatever is being made aware within your senses now. Just following the beautiful flow or rhythm. And just allow yourself to become one with this healing realm. And now we begin to become conscious of the sacral and allowing yourself to go one hand all the way down into her beautiful sacral. And when ready, When you fully engage with her sacral, we release from the fifth chakra, move down to the second fully with all of our being that light, holding that space for healing to be witnessing that beautiful healing. Notice the perimeter in your consciousness, using your body as an instrument or your knowingness to see how flooded with healing light this beautiful essence that Elizabeth is. Perhaps maybe you are feeling the perimeter, taking a few steps out if needed to see how Phil, and she's flooded with light in her healing realms of their sacral, noticing the colors or the direction of the flow or symbols that show up. Taking a few moments now to be a silent witness. Be curious. Does this sacral energy link to any other field of energy in her body or beyond? Follow the source. Notice where else this is healing. Her emotions, her dreams, her desires, her soul's articulation. Where is that flowing from her, and how is it healing in her life? Bringing balance to the left and right, masculine, feminine. Be a witness to this beautiful essence through her sacral, that beautiful God, goddess energy that she embodies. Opening your heart, being in that place of awe, wonder, and reverence. We now move into our conscious awareness for our final chakra. Allow yourself now to open up to that beautiful soul purpose chakra with one hand, bridging the sacral, allowing that cycle of energy, that beautiful strings and strands and ribbons flooding from her soul's purpose chakra, that's being consciously made available into all of our lower chakras, but we now become conscious of the soul purpose chakra with both hands. Really enjoy, have fun, and really open up with awe and reverence this beautiful perimeter. Noticing the feeling, the colors, the sensations that are being made conscious to you now. You are in reverence at how honored you are to connect with the sacredness that Elizabeth, her whole soul's being, all the archangels and guides are giving you permission to go in and notice where this flow of energy seems to go to in her lower chakras. Her soul's journey holds all of the lessons and the wholeness that she is ready to embark in this lifetime. Notice where divine is showing you, where it's showing up for her in her lower chakra field of energy. Perhaps it's flooding her consciousness and flooding and opening up her heart to be of service, or going down into her low chakras to be made available for. Just be a silent witness and notice what you notice. In the next few moments, we will conclude this practice, but do ask, is there anything more that you ask for me to experience now, divine? On behalf of Elizabeth, allow me to now fully experience her soul's chakra. Anything more you would have me to experience and to be made aware in my consciousness, please do so now. Thank you. And now come back, holding on to these energies, staying in the flow, staying in the moment. Move to the front of the heart chakra, into Elizabeth's heart. And as we tie in, just give one swoop and ground all of the beautiful energy down to all of her chakras, wrapping it up and tying it down into the earth below her, to be made consciously aware as she continues to process this beautiful healing. And then when you're ready, bring in yourself into the heart prayer position with your heart in front of her heart. And as we give thanks, as we conclude this rainbow energy healing session with gratitude in our heart, we give thanks for all the beautiful divine teachings and experiences that we have been so honored to be a witness of on behalf of Elizabeth and for Elizabeth herself. And we ask that you continue to support and to surround and bring healing to Elizabeth as we also learn and share after the session with each other, and continue to have those enlightenments. With gratitude in our heart, we now close our session for Elizabeth, and we give thanks with gratitude in our hearts. May it be a blessing for all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth, so much for being our first practice. And when you're ready, we will just spend a couple of minutes, because that actually, we went long, but it was a really useful so that we could practice. But who would like to share? How are you feeling, Elizabeth?
I'm feeling wonderful. I actually had visions during that. I had, yes. You know what? I'd love to hear what you guys experienced.
I could share. So in your sacral, I think the sacral was the most interesting thing I experienced. I was reminded, like last time in our last workshop, I think it felt like there were like crystals or beads in your sacral, like neatly like packaged, like dreams to be acted on. But then this time it felt like the energy had like expanded out in kind of like a butterfly wing shape, because I felt like you've taken action on at least some of those things, and it's like your dreams, like you're living them. Like it felt spread out, like the energy is around you now and not so much like pending.
Stuck.
And yeah, and then I felt like a strong connection with your sacral to your soul purpose, like your soul purpose being channeled down into your sacral to be to have your dreams be created and manifested in the physical. And then I think, I don't know if it was your throat or your sacral, but I saw an image of a giraffe. And whenever I see a giraffe, to me, usually represents the connection between the physical and the spiritual realms. So that ties in, yeah, because the long neck, and then that ties in with I think your soul purpose chakra, like channeling down the information. I also felt it like to your third eye, your heart, and your sacral to create, to manifest and create it in the physical. I have a question though. Because she was sitting sideways, is it that like we should expect to experience the energy of the client sitting sideways, or does it depend on how we project her image? Like it could be right in front.
I mirror. So when I look at
Okay.
her, I literally, when my eyes look at her third eye or look at her crown or look at there, I begin to become like I link myself through when I look at her. But if I don't see her, I can actually imagine where she is in the chair. And then I begin to become conscious with where those registers are without actually physically looking at her. Or, whether she's in front of you or sitting sideways, it's your preference. You would ask your client to position themselves the best way you have trained yourself to consciously become one with them, and to spirit is there we're actually, we don't even need to see them. But
Yeah.
the fact that you might enjoy having that complete visual, like for me, it doesn't matter if even they're on the phone. I have been trained to just become conscious and channel them with divine.
Mhm,
So whatever your preference is.
The way I
Yeah.
do it is I have, like, I saw her sitting in the chair that way. So then I kind of
Yeah.
like place her energy in my chair.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm like, I'm having her kind of as an energetic being in my chair.
Mhm,
So I'll move around it as if she is actually sitting in my chair
yeah.
in front of me. And so I kind of pretend that she's
Mhm,
there. I kind of bring her energy into that chair.
yeah.
That's
But
the
it's
way I do it.
yeah, but it's more like the practitioner's intention, right? So like, because I have a couch here, so I started off envisioning her sitting in front of me directly, but then I was like, well, maybe she's sitting sideways. But if I wanted, like I could just keep envisioning her directly in front of me.
It's, yeah, however, I guess it flows for you.
Okay.
Do you
Yes.
ever hear about the, because what I was going to share for this afternoon, what I can share it right now is, do you ever see a conveyor belt or a lazy Susan that swirls,
Mhm.
swivels? You're you're using your visual, your mind, or your consciousness to sense her, and you could actually have a miniature. Another way of remote healing is to actually create a miniature version, and then you have them on a swivel or a conveyor belt, and you can just like move them back and forth in your mind. You literally connect through however it's best. And the training that I have done is in all of those, like the chair seeing. So without thinking too much into it, you're finding that space for you. You're finding what works best for you. And I
Yeah,
love your
and
questions.
and I've also heard that sometimes people use like a teddy bear if it's a
Yes,
virtual session. Yeah, I might try that next time. Yeah,
yeah, whatever works for you. Because I've seen
yeah.
people actually have, one lady had a Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah.
And I think an old like Raggedy Ann doll, but preferably it's getting used to not relying on something, but using your senses to mirror it or
Mhm.
to be guided as if they were there. Like it's like, I forgot the word. It's actually, there's so many words of vocabulary that aren't coming to me right now that gives like energy healing vocabulary. Transposed, I think it's called, or
Mhm.
something.
Yeah.
But feel it out, try whatever it does. And I want to have to acknowledge, Martha, because I saw how you were imagining and experiencing her energetically. You were connecting energetically with her as if she was in your chair. Like you were just, if I could actually imagine, I could imagine Elizabeth sitting there because you were right in her energy,
And
moving around as
what,
if she
yeah,
was
and
in
that's
your
what I tend
chair.
to do with any of the virtual ones. It's like
Yeah.
I pull them to where to them being in front of me, whether it's laying down or sitting down, or, you know, however it is. But I feel like that's the way I do it. I feel like I pull their energy there.
Yeah.
And just to add to, when Rainbow was talking about the sacral, I had a lot of I had a lot of feeling in the sacral as well. It was very orange and very like it really wrapped around you. And it felt like it kind of started small, almost the same like you were talking about, like with the little beads, but then it just kind of enveloped.
Yeah.
And I got this sense throughout the whole thing that all parts of you were coming together. See, I can't even do this without moving my hands. But it's like all of you's coming together, you know, like everything's joining. And I think it was when I was on your sacral, so hard when you try, I'm thinking, oh, you got to remember that, you got to remember that. There was a hand that came on top of my hand. And I said, oh, who is with me? And they said, someone who loves her. And I said, oh, that's wonderful. And I'm getting goosebumps or angel bumps too. And I said, can I inquired more, like, can I tell her who? And the answer I got was, it all will be revealed. Like, okay,
Mysterious.
you know? And then when I went up higher, it was almost as if telling me that all of your soul's journey and past lives, and everybody it's like they're all coming together, almost like in this big, what do they call it, credenza, no, not credenza, but you know, in
Collective.
or whatever, all just coming together, and then they just showered down over you. But the arm was still, it was like it had my arm, like it was laying right on top of my arm. It was so interesting. But they didn't really tell me specifically who it was, although I got the sense that it was kind of ancestral, like, you know, so it was maybe ancestors that were guiding, because, and they just kept saying someone who loves her, you know, and
Was
that
it on your
it would
left or
be
right?
revealed.
Was it on your left or right?
It was on my right arm,
Okay, perfect.
very much.
Okay. We'll
So
talk about that later. Oh, go
I
ahead.
had weight in my right hand.
Ah,
I had body movement, Archangel Metatron in my left hand. And I've been wearing my grandmother's ring, and I've been receiving signs from my grandmother and my father. And that's my father's mom.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And literally my dream that happened this morning, it was amazing. And then the number that came through this morning was 999. Like the strong messages that I have been receiving, it's just, it's all here. And
Yeah.
I'm at the cusp, and it's just
Yeah.
wow.
And that's the feeling I was getting too, because I was trying to, you know, I'm like, okay, I'm so excited about this. And it really felt like a whole big coming together, like, and it's going to come together, you know, like that, like with a big bang.
Now,
thing.
like
Yeah.
it's
Huge
here. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I know. And I'm
This
still
was just a
getting them, like, I'm
practice.
still
My
all-
goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
And,
love
and the
it.
symbol I saw, I did see the symbol of, I can't pronounce this. Is it the Ankh, that
Oh, yes, the Ankh, yeah.
like a staff
Yeah.
kind of thing?
Okay.
And I tried to inquire about that, but I had the hand too, and it was, so I got a little distracted.
Amazing. Okay, so if you want to continue sharing on break, how about we do that? Because we want to go through 2 more of these. And now, Elizabeth, I gave you the long session because it was our first practice, and then vice versa. Next time, we're going to share the next session experiment. Someone else will have the longer segment. But now that we know, we've gone, oops, Joylee has, maybe she's just having some tech issues. So whenever she gets back, I wanted to find out now, Martha, would you like to be the next practice? And so we're going to go now, just for time's sake. Is it okay if we do, we're going to skip. I don't want to skip, because it's really important that we open up these chakras, because it is all about starting to bring all that consciousness down. But we might have to break for lunch at 20 after by the looks of it. And I'm already starving, but I am more than happy with holding off and waiting, because this is really important that we get this experience in before lunch.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's 10 to 1. Yeah.
Martha, what was it that you said? I want to write that down.
Go ahead and
was
share,
it that,
guys. Go ahead and share, because we're waiting for Gunleen.
what was it that you saw on the forehead? This is a first for me, what you're mentioning.
The Ankh, it's a I think Egyptian symbol. It kind of resembles to me a staff. That's what it kind of resembles to me. And I think it's spelled ANK or something like that.
Okay.
And it wasn't on your forehead. It was actually to your left. And it was like, it was kind of like, if I show my left, it was like, it was kind of like floating up here in a kind of pinkish glow. There was like a pinkish glow to it. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's ANK, something like that. But it's an Egyptian symbol, I believe. And Master Jesus was there too. When I was working at I think the heart, our hearts were extremely connected at the beginning. It was like there was just this tunnel, and it was like, oh, and I had in my hands the rainbow energy. It was like it was a rainbow jumping from hand to hand.
Like a slinky.
Yes, exactly like a slinky. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just texted her. Maybe she's got a battery that went out. You know
Oh,
how sometimes it takes, maybe, I'm not sure.
yeah.
Yeah. Just give her another moment.
Sure.
Yeah. Just pause. Yeah.
Sorry, it truly is amazing when you open yourself up to the different, well, when you open yourself up to see really what's here, right? And when you quiet this to actually hear what comes to you,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Oh my goodness,
And
gracious. Oh my
Glad you're
goodness.
back, Unleen. It's all well?
Oh yeah, sorry, my laptop died.
Oh.
I got so caught up in what Martha was saying, I forgot to plug it in.
Just quickly, there's an onk symbol.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, excellent. So now Martha has volunteered to go next, and then we're going to hold that space. So Martha, get comfortable, because we're going to do the singing step, but we're going to do it not. We're not going to be able to take as long, but we'll take turns having longer exercises. So again, if you have any questions, otherwise follow along as we open up our heart to ground ourselves, as we also do the prayer, standing in front of Martha, as if you were standing in front of her, and in heart, opening up your heart and receiving all the blessings that rainbow energy have to offer for Martha in this session. We invite all of our divine helpers, Archangel Michael and Metatron and Archangel Raziel, and all of her unique guardian angels, ascended masters, guardian angels, but also all beings of love and light that uniquely work with Martha today. May it be a healing and blessing. May we also be an open conduit of this beautiful energy realm, to witness it with on wonder and to experience the magic on behalf of Martha and Martha as well during this session. We are also asking to be opening our heart and mind to experience this with awe and wonder and reverence God and all of the beautiful energy as we get to learn deeply for this segment today and experience the energy even more for ourselves on her behalf, allowing us to do so in alignment with God's will, the best for all involved. We are so grateful. Now, when you begin opening your hands to begin to connect, and as you do so, ground yourself into Mother Earth. Really feel your body as well as this infinite connection with Spirit. As we hold our hands up into the direction of Martha's beautiful heart, her chakra, that energy center, and gently begin to become conscious fully through all of your senses, taking a moment to be a silent witness to the flow, the direction, the temperature, texture of her heart chakra, and all divine love that is showing up consciously to you now, in alignment with all the wholeness and truths that she is being guided to open up and to have allowed to flow through with her willpower, and cleansing and healing away anything that is of falseness. Now we are experience the oneness. Notice how it feels in your body. Notice how that experience is being made conscious to you now through your senses. Take a moment to experience. holding that awe for divine and that reverence and that honor of being with gratitude to experience this and allow those miracles to be shown. Be curious as you follow the flow and the sensations of her heart chakra, noticing where and how this beautiful realm of light is pouring in and around to be made available for her, for healing and wholeness. In just a few moments, we'll be guiding our hand down into the solar plex, one hand on the heart. But when you're ready, when you fully begin to connect with Martha's beautiful solar plexus, that mental field of energy in her being, then completely move your whole observation in your hands into her solar plexus. Maybe holding on to the perimeter, waving your hands in and around the different layers, maybe one on the back, one on the front, sandwiching it. Just play, be in awe, like childlike awe and wonder. Have fun exploring and being curious as you witness this beautiful center, and notice the wholeness that is flooding in and cleansing and clearing and filling her, and noticing where they're dissolving any falseness. Just become conscious of the beautiful truths that are flooding into her and being made available. Notice how you're making space for more of this amplification to come pouring and penetrating through, following the direction. Where is it being drawing into, coming out of her solar plexus? Maybe it's being sent down or up into her heart, or where? Like, just notice the flow as it begins to become more consciousness to you. Notice the colors. Notice the beings that are there for Martha, healing her on a mental level, opening up her whole being to become conscious of higher consciousnesses. Feeling it being grounded down, grounding that beautiful healing light. And when you're ready, become conscious of the fifth chakra, the throat chakra. Notice now with one hand as you bridge, one on the solar plexus, the other on the throat chakra. And when you're fully engaged with the throat chakra and you begin to experience this divine healing light, bring your full awareness in both hands up and really explore with awe, reverence, and wonder this beautiful throat chakra. Sit, gently caress and bring that calm, soothing light. Beautiful. I love your hand, the way you're moving that energy, Elizabeth. It's so beautiful. I can feel it in myself. Begin to be curious, inquisitive. Learn. Allow yourself to learn. Notice how gentle and light you're beginning to, Martha's having a lot of releasing and lightness. Just notice what shifts are happening for Martha in this throat chakra and beyond. Notice where it's being rooted from and how it's affecting her other chakras. If you become conscious, allow yourself to become conscious. This energy now will continue on and it'll continue to process. And I want you to bring one hand down into her sacral and become conscious of her sacral. Maybe you take a step back out or walk around and just see the perimeter and what color, what visions. Allow your hands and your body to just become a mirror and follow the sensations, moving your hands in and around the temperature. Maybe there's a different energy that's been shown to you in this experience on her sacral. What colors, what archangels, or what divine beings are working with her for wholeness and healing at this time? Show me in my senses now what I need to know for Martha in her sacral. Alignment with God's will. As we become conscious, notice where that flow is. Is it being grounded down into Mother Earth? Is it beginning to move up into the higher consciousness? Are we now so open in her sacral where it's her emotional soul connection of her soul's desire, her ability to articulate and express with love through her heart and her voice? Notice how that begins to become conscious. We are already moving now into the 10th chakra. Take a moment now to slowly become aware of that beautiful cosmic purple ball of light, that orb of essence of her being above her crown. And now becoming fully immersed in her soul purpose chakra, noticing all the unique color, all the unique beings that begin to flood the room, flood her beingness, her field of energy, and trace it with your hands and inquire. Feel it in your body and all of your senses now, and take a moment to be silent and witness. One final question. Allow us to become a witness now of anything we need to know that in alignment with God's will for Martha today in her solar plexus, following the whole guidance. Notice anything that comes to your awareness, one final guidance for healing that's coming into her to be made conscious and to be fully realized now and forevermore, following it along with your hands or your mind's eye, or feeling it in your nature. Where is she being healed in her lower chakras? Where is this beautiful portal opened for her, for now, this moment, for the weekend and beyond? Perhaps it's pouring into her heart, deep into her solar plexus, down into her root chakra, all the way down into Mother Earth. It's being made consciously aware and healing her forevermore. And ask, what do I need to know most right now for this healing that is happening? Feeling this beautiful release and all the magic that's been taking place. experiencing the colors that go back into your heart space as you come into prayer position in a moment, trusting that the energy will continue on and that all is well and that all these blessings have been bestowed upon her and you. Nice. And now, as we can imagine ourselves standing face to face with Martha, in our heart, we give gratitude in our prayer of closure that this now concludes our session with Martha for this rainbow energy healing practice session. We are grateful for all that's been experienced, thanking this information, this teaching moment from all of the blessings of healing realm of divine, of energy, rainbow energy. We thank you. Thank you. Thank you. May it continue to be a blessing for us and in this session for Martha as she processes it and continues to do so this weekend. We are all so grateful and so blessed. Thank you. Thank you. Amen. And now when you're ready, whoever would like to start sharing, please do so.
I could start. So the strongest energy I felt for you, Martha, was in your heart. And it's like I was visualizing your heart with like this lace, like this frill around it, this white lace around it. And it was like it was like bubbling with like just pure warm energy. It was like this rainbow was coming out of it and like almost like rainbow angelic wings. It was like expanding. And I really feel like your heart was affecting like all your other chakras with this like expanded sense of love. And then in your solar plexus, it felt like there was this increased sense of like self-worth, self-empowerment settling in. Let me see. I'm just trying to remember if there was anything else. Oh yeah, and then in your soul purpose, there was Master Jesus. And he was coming through with compassion for others, compassion for yourself. And I feel that also tied into your solar plexus with the whole self-worth and like being okay, doing things that bring you joy, taking time for yourself, that type of thing. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Great. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing, Gunleen. How about you, Elizabeth?
Well, I was trying to write everything down because there was just so much. So a message for you, it was said to me at least 4 times, be kind to yourself. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. So where do I start? I was pulling a lot from your heart down to your sacral. Okay. But before that, when we were working on your heart, I saw a strong red, a very strong red, but then a white light came through and it was like it was on a dial and the white light went through and the red disappeared and it was pure white. Just pure white. It's similar to what I've seen before when angels appear. Okay. When I was at your throat, it was like a big release and it was in the front, but yet it was behind you, it was beside you, it was below you. It was completely opening up. You know, you see them at the sports shows, the big microphone tunnel thing. Yeah. It was that, yeah. Right? It was just all surrounded you. And I was also guided towards your eyes to open up your eyes. And at that point, it was a white light came and shone upon, right? Which for me, I get white lights for angels, right? And sometimes they give me their name, sometimes, right? So today it was an angel that just appeared. And in when we were going to the soul purpose, it was building up and then like this, and I saw a purple tulip.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was so interesting. And I had a tear in my left eye.
Oh.
Hmm.
Well,
That sounds amazing.
it's very interesting how both of you kind of got that compassion for myself and others, because as I had mentioned before, I'm trying to be more conscious of having compassion for others. But I also, over the last while, have been kind of being more conscious about having more compassion for myself as well. And the other interesting thing is, when you're talking about the eyes, when I heard the bird chirping, it immediately made me think of, my maiden name is Hawks. And so I thought of a hawk, and they used to have the hawks, you know, when they have them on their hands, and they would have a hood over the hawk, and the hood came off. So it was like I was, you know, taking the mask off kind of idea. So that like is, you know, right in line with the eyes, and the everything like was really coming together there. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you guys are amazing. You guys are really amazing. The deep stuff that you're connecting with just by witnessing and allowing that energy to come through, it speaks louder and more detailed, and the stuff that you guys are getting it's just amazing.
The other thing too that was happening to me was
Yeah.
that it was, I guess, kind of like my inner self, or my inner child. And I can't remember where it was in relation to where everybody was working, but I had this vision of myself. You know the song Walking on Sunshine by Katrina and the Waves?
Yeah. Ah!
That is that's kind of my high vibe go-to song.
Yeah.
And I could see my inner child dancing, walking on sunshine.
Yeah.
You know?
Can I share something? I saw sunshine being channeled through Elizabeth into you. And actually, I saw her taking some, and at that moment, she was just a ball of light. And I don't know what happened in your environment, if you switched or the lights changed, but I
went down on my knees.
Something happened. So
Yes.
she brought the sunshine at your feet.
Yeah.
Yes, I went down on my
Really
knees.
cool. And it's almost too like this inner child of mine that was dancing. It was like a bubble of sunshine too, like, you know, like kind of like a cloud of sunshine and dancing away. Yeah,
I love it. All sorts of symbolism that means so beautiful. Like even the purple tulip and a heart, like the Archangel Faith came to me for your heart. So I was wondering if that could have been also bringing faith in a sense of not feel burdened, but feeling like I have faith. I can, you know, being more peaceful in the heart. I don't know what that felt like to you guys, but that's what it felt like to me. And that purple tulip kind of represented that. You guys saw so many gorgeous things.
With seeing the kind of lace around the heart and the kind of the opening and the rainbow colors too, and like angel wings. And you were talking about angels, and I've been, here they are. They're all over me now.
Oh gosh, that was amazing. So thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Yes.
So it'll continue. You can also continue to share at break, but if you want. So before we go to lunch, we're going to do Gundleen. We have 10 minutes, and then we're going to, it looks like 1:30 for lunch to 2:30, guys, but let's just see how we do. Okay, so let's turn our attention with awe, reverence, and wonder. Perfect position. We can see you perfectly, Gundleen. So now just opening your heart in prayer as we are imagining ourselves just being right in front, face to face with our beautiful Gundleen as she is sitting on a chair. We open our heart in prayer and we invite all the healing blessings that Rainbow Energy Healing have to offer for Gundleen in this session today in alignment with God's will. We open our heart, God, and we ask for the beautiful divine help and healing blessings to come through for Gunleen, and may we be a witness and consciously made aware of all the blessings and healing that are coming in through for Gunleen and us today for this practice session. May it be a healing and blessings and divine guidance in alignment with God's will. And we are so grateful and just so we feel blessed, God, to be in the presence of this healing, this magical realm for teaching purposes today and for healing, profound healing that can come through in alignment with God's will for Gunleen. Thank you. So allowing that flow of your heart, allowing yourself to feel grounded, to be present in this physical reality as we open ourselves to experience our spirit. And through that grounded nature, we become aware of our heart-to-heart connection with Gunleen, that oneness, that Holy Trinity, that beautiful connection with our own physical essence and divinity, with that beautiful heart connection, that beautiful eternal love of spirit, that three Holy Trinity, following along and being a silent witness with awe and wonder and curiosity. Follow along this beautiful energy from her heart. Play in this energy. Be curious. Follow along the sensations, the temperatures, the colors, the beings that show up that specifically are there for her in her healing today. Take a few moments to silently become conscious of all that is being made aware to you now. What colors are showing up? What beings are present? As this beautiful heart space has now been full, ignited, and present to all of her divine healing, wholeness floods her now as it dissolves and disintegrates any falseness that she has held on to. Notice any changes that show up specifically for Gunleen today in her healing of rainbow energy healing in the heart. Noticing how it's connected with any other energy centers in her body, freeing up and liberating herself from the holds that it had. Notice the expansion of energy and love and light that moves down now into her solar plexus. Drawing your awareness, one hand on the heart, but now become aware fully of the solar plexus, moving and experiencing fully with all your senses, mirroring her as if you are one with Gunleen, connecting vibrationally with that beautiful solar plexus energy back and forth and side to side. Allow yourself to go into her physical body as well, not just her energy. Noticing her solar plexus, that mental field of energy, all your senses, physically and mentally and spiritually. Be curious. All that beautiful, magical energy that's coursing through you, through Gunleen, that you're being made aware of, is palpable, visceral in your being, made aware consciously so you could withhold as a witness this beautiful healing that is taking place, miracles of healing for Gunleen now. Embrace and be conscious, silent witness it now. as this beautiful restoration of wholeness is flooding in and around Gunling. Notice what you're being shown as a witness, what's being removed and what's being replaced in its wholeness in place of its truth. Maybe it's connected to other areas of her body or field of energy. Her solar plexus is completely filled with love and light. Allow yourself now to move up your awareness to her throat chakra, her fifth energy center, placing one hand like a bridge of energy, and then slowly becoming conscious of her beautiful throat chakra, gently caressing with your hands and becoming conscious in your body and all your senses of the beautiful wholeness that is flooding in and around and being made available to Gunlin for a full expression of her throat, healing of the throat chakra. The back, the front, internally, physically, energetically, become aware. All beings that uniquely work with Gunlin for all of the things that the throat chakra represents in terms of speaking her truth and articulating truth, cutting through the illusions of what is false sabotage, words, thoughts, is becoming cleansed and cleared forevermore. Recognize now, take a moment to be a beautiful witness of this miraculous healing that is being made available. The archangels are now pouring and coursing through her, grounding all of that into her whole, anchoring it down into her heart, her solar plexus, sacral, root chakra, down into Mother Earth. It is now, will continue, that energy will continue, but we are to move on now to the sacral, bridging the gap between her throat, becoming now aware, increasing your awareness now fully onto her sacral, allowing yourself to be in awe, like, and wonder. What's the perimeter? What is the temperature? What is the sensations? Notice the perimeter. Does it large and fills a room, or is it close up? Follow it along and trace it with your hands and mirror it in your body. Beautiful. This beautiful left and right, masculine and feminine energy center, this passion, desire, her wants, her dreams. Notice all of the wholeness that is being restored into the center, the color, the beautiful light and beautiful healing realm of beings that flood into your awareness, into the center now. Take a moment and silently witness it all. You may already be experiencing where this center connects to other chakras. You may even already be experiencing her soul purpose chakra pouring down and freeing up all this beautiful energy for her to be made of, consciously aware of or unconsciously aware of. It's her bringing your awareness now increasingly and then fully immersing yourself now with all of your senses into her beautiful 10th chakra, her beautiful soul purpose chakra, where all of the information of her Akashic, all of the beyond the soul journey, beyond her Akashic records, it's her soul's journey. Notice where that energy wants to course down into her lower chakras. Notice where it instantly fills up and brings wholeness and healing. Become conscious of this as a silent witness and learn from it. What is she being made aware of in her beingness? What healing, what wisdom, what new inspired gifts is coming through from that soul purpose chakra. Her fully realized self is becoming conscious to her now. Take one moment to become fully conscious and ask, what? Show us now how this information, what do we need to know most about this beautiful realm coming into our consciousness for her soul's purpose? Notice where it goes into her lower body, in her throat chakra, in her sacral, in her solar plex, where it's flooding and helping to anchor in new truths. Become a witness and get any information now, any final messages from her divine team of helpers. Pulling it down, coursing it through forevermore, grounding it down through her being, every cell of her body, wrapping it into Mother Earth to be made consciously aware from now and forevermore. And bringing ourselves back in to stand in front of her like a mirror. We are now face to face. And we bring our hands to prayer position with love and gratitude and so much blessings for having this experience with thanks. We now conclude this session. We close this session. We thank the beautiful beings that came through for us in this practice and those who helped us on this journey to be conscious of how this beautiful energy is serving Gudlin. We ask for it to continue to be processed for her in this session, in this course and beyond. And we give thanks and reverence and just pure gratitude for being able to be this witness divine in this for Gunleen, on behalf of Gunleen and on behalf of divine. And thank you with gratitude in our heart. We give thanks. Amen. Thank you. And when you're ready, please share, whoever would like to go first. I'd like to hear from the before Gunleen. I'd like to hear from Elizabeth and Martha.
There was just so much purity. There was so much white. I kept thinking, I don't know, it was so bizarre. And there was, like, when I started with your heart, it was just white light just everywhere, and it just connected with everything, and it kept saying to me, she's so connected, like everything is connected. And there was a little fairy or pixie who kind of reminded me of Tinkerbell, and she had her little wand, and it was like she took the white light, and it was just in each chakra, it was just that, like, ding, 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 all the way down.
So funny.
And everything, and then they just, like, kind of lit up like crazy.
Yeah.
And there was a little white dog that, and your feet, I was drawn to your feet, and not that there was pain, but just something to do with it. I got the feeling of moving forward, like a movement kind of thing.
Yeah.
And there's also like a little white dog that was at my left ankle for kind of halfway through for the rest of it. And yeah, there was so much white. It was like it was pure, and they're telling me she's pure. She's, and then there was another with the fairies as well. There was almost like, have you been wanting to maybe learn more about fairies and elementals? Because the feeling that I got, like it was like they were leading, like.
Can I validate that? Because what I saw transposed over her, it's almost like she had this this mesh, you know, those when you could dress up as children, they have those butterfly wing outfit, fairy outfits.
Yeah.
I saw her having 2 sets of wings, and they were the material that those costumes have, and very colorful and decorative. And it showed me there's a lot of fairy element, and I also was guided to see the vines on the wall behind you, so it's almost like you embody a lot of that elemental energy. I wanted to validate that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I get a real feeling of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, with the wand, right when we started, I saw an image of a wand being handed to me. And with the fairies, I do connect very strongly to the fairy elemental realm. And actually, Kirsten, when you just said you saw the costume, I reminded me when I was younger, I used to have like a butterfly winged costume that was of that material. And then I often envision myself like in a similar costume now, like with the wings. With the vines, I actually I love connecting with nature, with all the fairies and the elementals. And I actually just went to a park this morning, and I had like my I call them my joy runs, where I kind of just run free with all the divine helpers and the fairies. So yeah.
Oh, love it.
Okay,
Listen.
so for me, similar to Martha and Kirsten, definitely white light. I was told to tell you be open and to keep on your path.
Yeah.
And two very strong things. And I was looking around to see, because I know there's something on my property that is this design. It's to a point at the top, and then it just comes down, and that is around you.
Like a
and
teardrop,
then
reverse teardrop.
Yes. And then it was this. You just with your hands open, like in a Y,
Yeah.
just like that. Like it was amazing, actually. Just, yes.
That's very beautiful. I kind of the teardrop reminds me of how I always ask Archangel Michael to put me in like a bubble like that. And then with the be open is to me it relates to like being open to new people and new experiences and keeping my heart open. Yeah.
I love the validation. I am just like beaming because this is so exciting. I really find this so incredible. It's miracles that we could connect energetically with the soul and get so much beautiful information and then be validated. It's very rich, and it's such a nice way to know we're one and that the energy is with us. And even the other day I saw an image of an animal beside you, and you validated your plan to go, like you embody. It's what we find and revere in our heart, we attract more of. And I feel like when you do imagine yourself with those costumes, when you do that, that is literally how divine works with you, and it's validating it.
Yeah, I was actually just gonna say that it's so cool how like when we do the visualizations and then they come through in the energy healing and the meditations, because it's like we're always creating. That's so cool.
Yeah, that connection, that communication. Yeah. Well, so thanks, guys. Is there anything else that you want to share? I can't believe it's 1:36. Oh my gosh, I'm starving. But let's take lunch, and then when we come back, can we come back at 2:40? Wait a minute. Yeah, that's 2:40. That's like just a couple minutes over an hour, and we'll convene, and then we have another practice. We have one more module and another practice session on giving guidance. And then that concludes our day. But go enjoy lunch, and we'll see you back in 1 hour. Okay, we'll see you
Awesome.
then.
Thanks.
Okay, we'll see you then.
Toodles.
Okay, we'll see you soon.
Bye.
And I'm hanging up.
Are you stopping the connection and we'll sign back in?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So I'm going to end this recording, and then in the afternoon, we will log back on, and then we will start our second of 6 recordings.
Okay. So we'll go right out of Zoom then.
Yeah.
Right now. Okay.
We'll see you soon.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.